The US presidential election is approaching. Donald Trump has released his official policy platform. It is embarrassing, to put it nicely. Trump wants to seal the borders and stop the migrant invasion. America does not have open borders. America does have a border crisis. The Democrats have pushed for a bipartisan bill that seeks to address this crisis. Many Republicans opposed the bill. They opposed the bill because they want the border to remain an issue so they can capitalize on it during the presidential campaign. They could have passed a harsh policy to address the border issue, but they didn't because fearmongering and electioneering is their priority. Trump is promising a mass deportation. This is more of the same old scapegoating nonsense. A mass deportation is not going to solve anyone's problems. It will destroy many lives and do significant damage to the economy. Apparently, Trump will end inflation and make America affordable again. This is a vague and meaningless statement. It is not a policy. You support good things and oppose bad things? Wow, how bold, how insightful. It is laughable. Specific solutions are needed, not vague, meaningless promises. How are you going to end inflation? How are you going to make things affordable? Trump wants to make America a dominant energy producer. This is not necessarily a bad policy in theory, but in practice it will just be used as an excuse to bend over and shamelessly serve fossil fuel industry donors. Trump claims he will stop outsourcing. He said the same thing in 2016, and then he outsourced masses of jobs. Joe Biden has performed much better than Trump on this issue. Biden has created huge numbers of jobs. Far more than Trump ever did. Trump is an embarrassing failure on this issue. Trump supports tax cuts for workers, apparently. Just like he did last time, Trump will give a few crumbs to the workers to appease them, while he delivers huge tax cuts to the wealthy. That is what he did last time. That is what he will do this time too, if he is re-elected. Trump says he wants to defend the US Constitution. That is funny. He has previously suggested terminating it. Trump says he wants to defend people's rights. Does that include the right to vote? Last election, Donald Trump tried to overthrow democracy and render voting rights meaningless. He says he will protect freedom of speech. Yet on this very policy list, he claims he will deport protesters. He wants to deport pro-Hamas protesters. Of course, for a disingenuous idiot like Trump, that just means any pro-Palestine protester. And even actual Hamas supporters still have the right to freedom of speech, just as Nazis and Klansmen do. It is laughable that he claims he will defend free speech and suggests deporting protesters on the same policy list. The mindless stupidity of it is incredible. Trump says he will defend freedom of religion, yet he has repeatedly argued for a Muslim ban. How is that compatible with freedom of religion? What a fraud. No principles, no consistency, no values, no rationality. Just endless stupidity. Trump says he wants to end the weaponization of government against the American people. Of course, this is just a reference to his extreme victim mindset. He committed crimes and was found guilty of some of those crimes. Now he is convinced that the system is out to get him, and he is trying to portray himself as the victim. It is sad and pathetic. Trump apparently wants to make the US military the most powerful in the world. The US military is already, without a doubt, the most powerful military in the world. The Russian military is an utter joke. They cannot even defeat Ukraine. And in a conventional conflict, America would probably take Moscow within a week. And China is also far weaker than America. Trump says he wants to cover all of America in an Iron Dome missile defense system. This would cost an enormous amount of money. The Iron Dome is massively expensive, and it is designed to shoot down crude rockets. It has effectively no value to the USA and its security needs. It is an extremely expensive vanity project, nothing more. Trump is promising to restore peace. Apparently that means cutting military aid for Ukraine and throwing them to the dogs. In doing so, rewarding and encouraging wars of conquest and aggressive state behaviour. Trump wants to give greater support to Israel. So apparently world peace means emboldening Israel to conduct more brutal killings and senseless provocation in the Middle East. That does not sound like a peace plan to me. Trump wants the electric vehicle mandate gone. Climate change is a major security threat. Climate change is a major threat to economic prosperity. Trump has no interest in addressing it because he is an idiot who serves wealthy donors, not ordinary people. Trump supposedly wants to secure US elections. This is a strange goal coming from a person who tried to overthrow democracy last election. Coming from a person who called a governor and asked them to find votes for him. Coming from a person who pushed a fake electors scheme. Coming from a person who tried to pressure his vice president into refusing to certify an election result. Coming from a person who incited a mob of his supporters to storm the Capitol. Of course, Trump's supposed concern about democracy is just an excuse to make it harder for people to vote. Because Trump knows that the more democratic the election, the more badly he will be defeated. Trump has never been a popular leader. He has lost the popular vote by millions of votes in both of his previous elections. Perhaps most amusingly, Trump has promised to create unity. This is coming from a person who has called his political opponents vermin. This is coming from a person who has repeatedly suggested killing and imprisoning his political opponents. This is coming from a person who accuses immigrants of poisoning the blood of the nation. And now he is talking about unity. It is beyond idiotic. Donald Trump's policy platform is a joke. A lot of it is just vague, meaningless nonsense. Parts of it are blatantly inconsistent. Most of it is totally contrary to his political record so far. And some parts of it are just plain stupid. Of course, Trump also has Project 2025, his unofficial policy platform. Although Trump has denounced Project 2025, it is believed that he is still loyal to it. Project 2025 is basically the ultimate list of bad ideas. Authoritarianism, extreme conservatism, total dedication to big money interests, anti-worker, pro-wealthy. These are some of the terms that could easily be used to describe it. Donald Trump is an absolute disgrace with a pathetic policy platform. Of course, Trump is also a liar who has no credibility, so his policy promises cannot even be trusted. Donald Trump is a disgrace. He is an immoral and idiotic person. He must be defeated in the approaching election.